on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at.
Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I do hope you're all doing well. Once again, thank you for finding the time to be with me for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Today we'll talk about Nicolas Jackson to Aston Villa, Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea, Xavi Simmons to Chelsea, Christopher Nkunku to Bayern Munich. There are hosts of clubs that are interested, but currently Leipzig, it seems like they're leading the race. And then we'll talk about a whole lot of other stuff we have lined up. And if we exhaust them quickly enough, then we'll go for news hunting once we're done addressing them. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. Remember, here, your opinion matters. And I hope you're still celebrating because, yeah, we are world champions. And our agreement is to make make life unbearable for the haters, those that didn't give us a chance against PSG in the Club World Cup final. But that's by the way. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to start. We'll start addressing the items we have lined up as soon as possible. But yeah, as usual, we'll humor those that are first to arrive here. Say hello to them. Read whatever they have to say in the comment section. So welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. I do hope you're all doing well. It's all love here. All right. Tottenham are exploring the possibility of signing Christopher Nkunku from Chelsea after missing out on Eberechi Eze. And yeah, according to his quote in Team Talk, I hope they do. But I wouldn't mind signing Nkunku to Tottenham as long as he leaves, so that we'll be able to bring in and register Xavi Simmons. Yes, we have Real Maya the rapper, my good friend. Thank you for reposting the stream. Sincerely do appreciate you doing that. Appreciate all the love. Couldn't have come this far alone. I mean, we're growing as a community. So thank you. And yes, hey Blues, can we please smash the like button? Every like pushes the stream to more Chelsea fans. That's the truth. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to other people who will be interested in the topics we have lined up. So please keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have 9 likes, but definitely we can do a lot better than 9 likes. Yes, every like pushes this stream to more Chelsea fans worldwide. Let's hit 100 before the show ends. And if you're in, just smash the like button and thank you for joining the conversation. And don't worry, we'll still do a pre-game show. I get it. Yeah, we don't want to do a mashup of pre-game show and news. Usually, it doesn't work. I've been doing this for a while now, and I've learned quite a lot. Up the Charles, that's CSC Nagatomato. Okay, I'm not sure I got that right, but thank you for joining us. As long as you're a Chelsea fan, thank you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. And Dante shows some discipline today. I am moved, man. Dante, how are you doing?
Yeah, big up, coach. Yeah, good. I'm good, thanks. Just been
Wow,
waiting
good
patiently for
discipline
you
from
to
your
change
end.
the time every half an hour, more and more. That's all.
I had to make sure the system is in good shape. I had to, even after, again, I forgot to update it last night, so it was trying, even behind, in the background, if it's still doing some stuff, it still slows it down. But I think I need a much powerful system. But that's by the way. Thank you so much for
All
finding the
good.
time to join me on the panel.
No problem.
All right, we get into addressing the items we have lined up immediately. I'm happy you're here. I know you have a good understanding on what this means, really. This is Chelsea are 14th in the latest UEFA club coefficient ranking. I know it goes into it will some influence with regards to how we're seated during the group stage, or maybe UEFA rankings and all that. Okay, but let's go through it. Number one, Real Madrid. Number two, Bayern Munich. Three, Inter Milan. Four, Manchester City. Five, Liverpool. Six is Paris Saint Germain. Seven, Bayer Leverkusen. Wow, Bayer Leverkusen seven. Borussia Dortmund 8, Barcelona 9, Roma 10. Yep, and that's Benfica, right? Or is that Benfica or Porto?
Benfica.
Benfica, yeah. 12, Atletico Madrid, 13, Manchester United, 14, Chelsea Football Club, and 15, Arsenal. So Dante, what are the benefits of this? There are a few. I think Wills get a great deal of influence with regard how many spots Chelsea get, England gets in the Champions League. But go ahead. But I'd like you to break it
Yeah.
down for us if you don't mind.
Yeah, it does. It's just the ranking system, the points you accumulate as in Europe. So basically, we haven't been in the Champions League for a while. Obviously, not even in Europe, and then we were in the
And that's
Conference
why
League.
we dropped.
Yeah, so we dropped quite a lot because of that. If we would have been, we would have been probably top six, probably top five there, at least if we were even in just competing and not even, just past the group stages, etc. Because every win, draw, you gain points. So yeah, because we haven't been in there for a while, yeah, it's kind of we're quite low, even behind Manchester United, to be honest. So which is looks bad, but it's just how the point system works. We will probably move up pretty quickly this season if we're in the Champions League and we win games. Of course, we'll probably move up pretty quickly up that table a little bit. We'll catch up quite a bit, but yeah, we still got quite a bit of work to do. Not being there the last 4 years, we've really fallen down in the ranking in the points. So and not really being even in the UEFA Cup either, at all, basically. So that's why we've dropped quite a lot. We made a little bit with the conference because we won the Conference League, so
Mm.
we've kind of we've stayed a little bit relevant there still because of the Conference League last season. That's pushed us up, but it doesn't score quite as high as obviously Champions League. So yeah, look, we need to win some Champions League games, and we'll slowly rise back down. That list will always fall up and down depending on teams. How much they've qualified. Man United, you see there, but they're probably not. They're going to start dropping out because this year they're not in it. So they're going to start dropping out a lot of these teams, and then some coming back in. It's all over the place. But because it started, you sort of it goes back like 4 years, 5 years. It's just an accumulation of points. So it just depends where teams are. That's where you see Real Madrid first. They're always kind of thereabouts. So they've been consistent. It's
Hmm.
basically consistency in the European competitions. And yeah, we have not been that. That's for sure. That's why we're so low.
There's also the brand benefit. Let's talk about that aspect where, yeah, it's something that you could say gives you an edge in terms of when you negotiate for a front of shirt sponsors. Yeah, because you're one of the top
Yeah,
teams in world football.
exactly. So it gives you commercial power as well, obviously. When you have a
Yeah, I
renewal to
think
do,
the correct term would be commercial power. Yeah.
yeah, when you have a renewal to do, say a Nike, Adidas, those are the big contracts, or Puma, or there's some of the new ones that are around. So those are big contracts. Obviously, front of shirt sponsors a big contract as well. So yeah, look, it depends when you have those. They got to come around at the right time. Timing is key, and we've kind of put that off because we've been waiting for the right timing, and that's paid off, I think, and that will pay off because we've got quite a few sponsors on board, and a main one, obviously, we're going to put on the front of the shirt sponsor. We've got probably a record fee for a front of shirt sponsor. So yeah, timing is everything in business, as you know. So yeah, they took a risk, but you have to take risks if you want the big dollars, and that's paid off for Chelsea. Looks like it.
Yeah. Can you go ahead for a few seconds? Let me take care of something quickly.
No problem. Yeah, so just with those points, you see PSG, they won the Champions League there, but they're back in sixth spot. So it doesn't matter this year. Like, yeah, it obviously accumulates, like I said. So if they keep getting to finals, quarterfinals, semifinals, they're gonna move up those. But it's hard to beat those Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, those teams, because they're always there. Basically, every year they're there. They qualify for the Champions League, and they get usually minimum sort of quarterfinal to semi-final. So yeah, they're always up in that top three. So it's even if you win it one year and then you win it again, don't do that well and win it again, you're still not going to be up there because it's all about consistency. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But I'm not too worried about that. We'll do fine. We're back in the Champions League now, and hopefully we continue to be there for the way we're set up as a team. We should be there for the next basically
Consistently, yeah.
consistently for a long period of time. The way we're set up, we should be there every year, and really we should be competing for that trophy pretty much every year from now on. We should be getting really close with that one.
And that's down to the fact that things are starting to fall into place for the model or the overall project. I know some people are still in denial. You could argue just because they want to be correct, but the truth remains that things are starting to fall into place and it can only get better. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
the future's very bright, very
Mhm.
bright. We're set up. We've got a core. We have a strong core of players. We can still add a few, and that'll be the plan going forward. Still add some youngsters, but I think they'll from next year on. From next year, the plan really starts to go into the next sort of phase, if you want to call it a phase, which is looking to add very one or two really really high quality players to that team. Uh, Sort of like star sort of signings, if you want to look at it that way, superstar sort of signing. So we're a year ahead at the moment, as the plan was from what they've outlined. We're a year ahead. So next year was the year that it goes into that next sort of level, the plan where we get a couple of sort of try to, if available, depending on who's available, try to add some
Mhm.
superstars to the team and really set up that team for long-term continued success.
Yeah, and winning trophies makes does make a whole lot of difference. After winning the Conference League, we knew that they, as Bobby would say, they tasted blood and no going back. That makes a whole lot of difference. All right, and we have yep, I've set up the chosen. We have Das Queries. He says today we destroy West Ham. It's 0-5. Palmer scores a hat trick. I don't accept other results. Okay, that's you. I'm not sure how to see this, but we'll see. It's not going to be an easy game. Um, I am usually concerned when the opposition isn't doing well. But that's by the way. I hope we get a win today. The game is played over 90 minutes plus added time. But on paper, it's a game that, yeah, we should be winning. No excuses, but we'll see. But that's by the way. Thank you. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. If we're able to round off on time, fine. So this means that Chelsea can top the Premier League table overnight for the first time in 1,357 days with a win against West Ham this evening. This doesn't really matter to me. This is just the second week into the Premier League. It just doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't. It doesn't move me. But that's me. Or maybe other people see it differently. Uh, but I don't want to read too much into it. There are after that there'll be still a lot more games to play, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like when the last week of the Premier League. But that I don't know. Does it mean anything? It doesn't, in my opinion.
No, that's a useless stat. That one, there's nothing to. It's only for some hours, maybe or so. So, no, it's a useless stat. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
probably will last for a few hours. Yeah, because there are other teams that some of them that actually, if they even if they draw, chances that again it depends goal difference and that they leapfrog us. But go ahead with what you were
Exactly.
saying.
So it's a very irrelevant stat, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was a quick one from you.
Well, there's
Uh,
nothing more to add to that.
I was expecting you to say a lot more, but that's okay. We have Victor in the house. Victor, big up to you. I do hope you're doing well. You're a good student, bro. You're a good student. You there, Victor? Is he gone? Okay, probably he's trying to unmute. But before then, we have Ivy in the house. Ivy, I do hope you're doing well. He says, big up everyone. Keep Nicolas Jackson. Maybe put the two words together. Maybe the campaign will kick off properly. Otherwise, Your campaign is just keep alone. So finally, I find something to cook you with.
Just
Uh,
keep, yeah.
yeah, that because your campaign will just be keep alone. All right, Victor, anything you want to say? Topping the table after if you beat West Ham United, for me, it's useless. It just doesn't make sense to talk about it. Okay, his
He's gone.
yeah, his connection
Connection
is gone.
issues. KFC Wi-Fi. I told him McDonald's is better
I
than
think
KFC.
he's his mama put Wi-Fi actually.
Even worse. Is that the country town again or country area you're
No,
talking about?
mama put is roadside restaurant. I don't know if it'd
Ah,
be
yeah,
correct
yeah.
to
Okay,
call it that. I
I
don't know
understand.
the most
Yes, yes.
accurate language to use. Yeah, yeah, we're cooking you. All right, Wendy, thank you so much for reposting the stream once again. I appreciate you. And as I've already told you, we don't take that for granted. Sincerely do appreciate that because yeah, every repost helps us reach more people and we appreciate that. Yeah, free Wi-Fi for a better he's using Mama Put Wi-Fi of Victor. But yeah, we move on. That's a useless statistics in my opinion. So this now, I think we have three items lined up that are all about Nicolas Jackson. I think there are multiple clubs that are interested in signing Nicolas Jackson, but this first report reads for Nicolas Jackson, there's a crazy race ongoing with many top clubs. That's how Fabrizio speaks. Of course, that's reflective of how he speaks. Many top clubs interested in the player. Okay, one of them, Bayern Munich, Aston Villa, of course. This means that there's a strong interest coming from Bayern Munich, who are closely monitoring the situation of Nicolas Jackson. But Bayern, I don't think they get a chance. I think they're just trying to exploit that is their perception, maybe that we're desperate
Pretty much.
to sell Nicolas Jackson. So this reads Bayern Munich are looking at Nicolas Jackson again now, provided a loan is possible, and which is impossible. I think Chelsea, in my opinion, would rather keep Nicolas Jackson than send him out on loan because it's a huge risk. I think we've learned that the hard way, in my opinion. And Bayern, I think they're not good people. That's how I like to say it. They're not nice. They're trying to exploit the situation, get him for cheap or get him on loan. Then, if at the end of the season they just decide, yeah, they don't want him, and send him back to Chelsea, compounding issues for us. But let's hear you, Dante, your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, they're all trying. They smell a bit of blood, all of them, and they know we need to move players, and they're just trying. Obviously, they're going to try.
And
They'll
I think it'd be correct to say we don't have a good relationship with Bayern.
not the best. No, not the best. So, um, after the Lisa and stuff, yeah, are probably not the best, but look, it's still business. They still, I'm sure they're still they overlook some of those things eventually, but they're not going to buy him. They want a loan. Obviously, they couldn't get Nick Walter, so they couldn't get him. So they're still looking for another striker. So they would want another sort of backup striker to Harry Kane, and that Jackson, if he comes on loan, that would be perfect for them. But like I said, all these clubs are going to try loan first because without an obligation to buy, probably with an option to buy, but not an obligation. So, and they probably will turn it down in the end because they'll say, no, we're not happy with it. So they're trying to, they're all trying, and there'll be a lot of clubs trying these last 2 weeks for loans for a lot of these players that we need to move. The only way this can happen is we have no suitors right at the last day, and we still wasn't able to move some of the players off to actually register another player. Well, then I think we're kind of backed into a corner. Then we have to make a decision. Can we
Decision based on the manager's priority.
correct based on the manager's priority? They all talk together. They all come to the right decision, and they'll see if that means Jackson needs to go on loan for us to bring Simmons on. Well, that I think they'll probably do that because I think that will be much more important in the end to get a player like that in. And
Because it brings more balance in the attacking area. We have numbers. Except if the
correct,
manager fears that chances are it will take him a lot of time, to adapt to his approach, or maybe
exactly.
yeah, then he I think he'd probably go for Jackson staying. Maybe Simmons comes in next transfer window, but I think probably Simmons.
Look, Simmons, yeah, I think will come. Look, either way, I think we're gonna move Jackson put to the side for now, but we're gonna move Chilwell and Sterling on loan for sure. There's no way they're staying. They'll get them on loan somewhere for sure, like we did last year. They'll find a loan, and they're off. Then we have no problem. Then you can still keep Jackson, worst case scenario, and then you can still bring Simmons in. So yeah, you won't be able to probably sign another one on top of that if we want like a defender or something. But I think we're okay there for now. But yeah, Jackson, they're all going to come for loans for Jackson now because they know our situation. We got rid of Vega, but we still need to get rid of another one. So we need to get rid of Disasi. He's in talks. Hopefully that happens as well. And Nkunku, those two basically, and then we're okay. But yeah, not all of them. We don't need all of them, but we definitely need to another two to get at least off the books ASAP to be able to sign and register Simmons.
More
So,
importantly, from the perspective of you can say having the space to register them.
well, that's the only way. Yeah, a player will not come otherwise because you're keeping that player in limbo. His agents and that will never approve that. So, because you won't be able to register him, who knows when you're going to be able to move those players. So, yeah, wait and see. Time is key, of course, but also not getting robbed by some of these clubs because, like I said, they're all going to come in with low ball offers, which they have for a lot of players already, and loans. They'll just want loans.
I also did see a particular report, just couldn't find it this morning, that suggests that Chelsea are already in talks, direct talks, direct club to club talks, but between Chelsea and Aston Villa already going on, and they're pushing to sign it. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull it off.
They can't. Loan only, coach.
Loan only.
Yes,
But
they
you
can't.
know fully well that would rather a permanent, so maybe a loan with an obligation for permanent purchase, maybe.
Only way, yes, they cannot afford to sign. They cannot afford to sign. They can't PSI issues, and they can't sign him this season. They can't do that. So, not for that price. Not for what we want, 60 plus 70, whatever it is, 80, who knows, whatever it is, they cannot buy him. They can't afford it. Not because they don't have money, it's because PSI, they're in right on the right, basically at even on PSR, so they cannot go underneath. So unless they sell two or three players, which is not happening because it's not happening. So they want a loan again. Villa, that's why they started talks because they want him on loan.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Which means if we get a good offer from other clubs that would want to take him on a permanent, like Newcastle United, I think that'd be it um for
That's the
Aston
one.
Villa, in my opinion.
That's the one to look for. Isak is that big domino to fall. If they do sell him to Liverpool for that big amount, well, they've got money and no PSI issues, nothing. They can spend all that money, no problem. So they'll definitely probably go to for Jackson and another one because they'll have to sign two basically. So yeah, look, I think that's the one that has the money to do it. None of these other teams have the money to do it. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. They'll all want loans.
Yeah, but Newcastle might actually end up not selling Isaac because they would want to set up a good, you could say, set a precedent that whenever
Mm.
you play for them, you have to respect the club. You can't just behave the way Isaac has behaved of late. Because if they let him go, if they let him go because of the way he's behaved, they're setting a dangerous precedent. And
Yeah,
then
coach.
they've
But that
released a
just means,
statement. They've
yeah,
released a statement saying that suggests they're willing to keep him against his will to prove a point. And I'd rather my club do that than to
yeah,
let the
yeah.
player. You can say you were the ones they gave him the platform to show the world what he's capable of doing. I get it. He was a good player before they signed him, but wasn't as good because nobody would have seen him that. Yeah, to be as good as he's proven to be at Newcastle United, I think he's disrespected the club in my opinion because I'm quite
We don't
sure
know. Yeah, we don't know
we don't
exactly
know,
what's
but
happened there.
from what we're seeing and the club's response, for me, does show that yeah, probably he disrespected them. We can only speculate, but go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, we can only speculate, but we don't know for sure. I don't. Isak is a pretty quiet sort of guy. It doesn't. I don't think he would have done a fuss. Something must have happened. Must have promised them, or they had something agreed, and something didn't go through.
You know,
And for him,
the gentleman's agreement, Caicedo
yeah,
situation.
like, players that keep doing that. I don't know why players keep doing that. And obviously that didn't go through, and he made a big fuss about it. So he wouldn't have done it for no reason. A player doesn't do it for no reason. So yeah, look, whatever happens, the problem is with that, if they want to keep him as an example, is they not cannot sign any players. That is the big problem. If they
Yeah,
sell him, they can sign players. If they don't sell him, they can't sign players.
yeah.
So they're going to struggle massively if they don't sign any players this season.
All right, let's give the microphone back to those in the chat. I'll come back to the panel, then we'll have Victor speak. Victor, now Mama put Wi-Fi you they use.
Oh my
Haba
goodness.
Wi-Fi, haba.
Kotila is supposed to know. He's supposed to know how it is in Nigeria.
No, I do understand. But
What?
yeah, it is. We have names for such. You can say unstable internet connection. Dante's is
McDonald's.
McDonald's. It
McDonald's.
was Walmart, but then he changed it to McDonald's, and so yeah. But thank you. Yours is Mama Put, so bear that in mind. Whenever you hear
Mm-hmm.
that, you know we're talking about you. Yeah, we have AB here saying, AB, nice to see you once again. It's been a minute. I hope the reason for your absence is simply down to the fact that you've been busy. If that's the case, we're happy for you because we know bills don't pay themselves. So AB here says, I don't think any club is ready to pay more than 50 million for Jackson. What does that tell you? Chelsea and serious about selling him. We know if he stays, he makes us stronger. They want him, but they don't rate him. Him wanting to leave is a mad move from him. You could argue he fears competition. And unsubscribed minds keep the blue flag flying high up the chest. Nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And yes, yep, Nightbot response. So he's at work. Nuno, Espirito Santo, and Forest might be over. Tension with the ownership and coach clashing again. Some owners cannot keep their ego out of the game. Okay, that's his business. Yeah, with the way things are going, I see one of Garnacho or Simmons move waiting until January. It's getting too close to the end of the transfer window. If yeah, but even in one day, in a few hours, they can get a deal done. Yeah, it's just we've seen that before. Deadline day deals and all that. Who introduces this PSI? It's looking like some unworkable rule. That's serious. All right. Cheeky swap for Rogers, not gonna happen. I don't think we need Rogers. If we're sure we're gonna get the Siemens deal over the line, I don't think we'd push for Rogers, but I can only speculate. I don't work for the club. And rumors suggest that yeah, we do like Rogers a lot and still interested in signing him should the opportunity emerge. I am betting, yeah, okay, on Chelsea money line today. Okay. I'm not sure I understand what that means. I'm not into betting, so probably that's the reason why I don't understand the terms used in that particular comment. The prince is here, as the band would say. Big up, Coachella. Big up to you too. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. So, Victor, where do you want to come in before we proceed to the next item we have lined up? Nicolas Jackson, maybe. Yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Nicolas Jackson to Aston Villa. You know, Embrin was his coach at Villarreal. Maybe
Mhm.
that's the reason why he's, trying to lure him to Aston Villa. And maybe he knows that, okay, he fits in well in his system. That's why he's trying to get him. But
All right, that Mama put Wi-Fi does this thing again. Um, all right, I feel sorry for you. All right,
Yeah.
Agile Education, darling. Good day, everyone. Good day to you too, and thank you for finding the time to join us. Sincerely, do appreciate you. I think it's been a while too for you. I don't know, Dante. Anything else we want to talk about here? Bayern Munich looking to sign him on loan. I don't think that happens. And Bayern's case, I think because they're trying to avoid taking a risk, which means they're not going to agree a loan deal with an obligation for a permanent purchase. And we did address a particular report a few days ago that suggests the Bayern hierarchy has decided that at this stage in the transfer window, they're not going to sign any player with the risk of, you say, uh, keeping the player on a permanent. I'm sure you've heard that too. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he goes to Bayern.
No, I don't think he goes to Bayern. No, there's no point for him really to go there. He won't play much, to be honest, behind Kane and that. He's not going to play much there. So what's the point of going to another country like that and doing that? At least, Aston Villa, Emery might use him a little bit more. Even there, he's not a starter, to be honest, because he's not starting ahead of Ollie Watkins, that's for sure. So even there, but Emery might use him on the left wing and stuff, as he did at Villarreal as well. So he might have more to play there. The one Newcastle where he would fit in and play pretty much a lot, I think, probably be their starter, would be a Newcastle. So it depends what the player wants as well. I think he would want a permanent move as well, only because, like I keep saying this, he would get a nice bonus and probably a pay rise, even though not massive pay rise, but he would still get a pay rise. But he would get a nice big bonus in the contract for signing to another club. So, he probably would want to move too. At least you're going to move, you're going to make a lot more money as well, at least for everyone involved, that is, not just himself.
Yep, thank you so much. And Victor, don't worry. I think we'll do something about the Wi-Fi thing since you're a team member here. So let's see what else we have here. I've said hello to you. And James says, I'd like Chelsea to sell Nicolas Jackson. You would? Okay. I'm not sure. We need a Wi-Fi sponsor. We do, actually. Okay. Morgan and Xavi changes the game. If we're able to get signed both, but I don't think we'll probably try to. Maybe I don't know what we're gonna do and what we will end up not doing, because I've heard. Okay, I've read a lot of stuff that suggests, for me, that could mean, my understanding of what I've read so far is that even after signing Xavi Simons, if we see the opportunities to sign Morgan Rogers, would still do that, but we can only speculate. Keep Nico. It's going to be a very long season. I'm quite sure we want to keep him, but does he want to stay? I'd say probably not. With the fear of him, you can say, being the third choice striker, I'd push to leave too if I were him. And probably he doesn't believe that. Yeah, he'd be starting over the other two strikers. Donna Papa says that Chelsea have good players. We're not letting them leave on loan. Most of Chelsea players wouldn't leave if it was up to them. It depends on their situation, really. I would like Chelsea to sell Nicolas Jackson to Newcastle United, so you must be a Newcastle fan. For me, I'd like him to stay, but would he want to stay? For reasons I've explained 1,000 times, I'd say no. He probably wouldn't want to stay. And be a third choice striker at Chelsea. But that's my opinion anyway. So, Victor, you're back. Do you want to say anything before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, Coachella, my network is dealing with me here, but all good.
I understand.
Nicolas Jackson, the other thing is that going on loan, because I don't think all this Newcastle will be able to pay that amount that Chelsea is requesting. I don't think that they will
It
pay
depends.
it, and Aston Villa, I don't think that they will pay it too.
If they sell Isaac, I think they'd be able to do so. But probably wouldn't want to spend everything,
Who-
all
who-
the money they make from Isaac. But go ahead.
I don't think that it depends on them too, because I don't think that they will think that Jackson worth that amount too. That's another thing. And if they should come okay for him so that he will go on loan, that one would be better too, because releasing him to go to Newcastle or go to Aston Villa will make room for other new players to come in too, like Xavi and Garnacho too. So going on loan will be favorable to Chelsea too. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
another thing.
depends. But
But
I don't think we'd want to.
Newcastle,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead.
yeah, Nicolas Jackson staying at Chelsea, it means that he will be a third choice striker. instead of being a first choice that he used to be at Chelsea. Staying back will mean that he will be a third choice striker. So I think that moving out from Chelsea will be the best option for him.
Yeah, and I have to say quickly, if he didn't know that he was never going to be the only striker at Chelsea, then he definitely was ill informed. Big clubs don't keep a single striker. You just don't do that. It's a huge risk. Having a single striker could be the difference between you winning the league and or maybe getting relegated. And I think it'd be a solid argument to say, had it not been that he at one point during the season got injured, that yeah, if we had another good striker, maybe close to being as good as he was, or maybe as good as him, we could have finished up higher in the table.
We
Remember,
rely on him. We relied on
which
Jackson for
you risk
two whole seasons.
exactly, and you shouldn't
Two
do
whole
that.
seasons.
You shouldn't do that. Big clubs don't do that. You should have at least two strikers, two good enough strikers competing. But we took that risk, and if he thought that yeah that always be the case, then he was ill informed. Big clubs don't do that.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea he have in his head. Okay, I'm the main striker. That's how it's supposed to be. That's
No,
how it should be.
we don't
Maybe
do
that's
that,
what he has
man.
in mind.
You become the
Because
main striker.
he played for 2 seasons without a competition, without a competitor. He just played for 2 seasons. The opportunity was given to him for 2 seasons as a main striker, as the only striker we have in Chelsea. And now we have two additional striker, and uh, everything is being like a movie for him. So I don't blame him. That's
Yeah,
the impression we gave him the time he came.
yeah.
So
Big
that's it.
clubs don't do that. Honestly, big clubs don't do that. In my opinion, because look, we won the same amount of game as Arsenal. We won the same number of games as Arsenal. The difference, I
Yes,
think, we lost a
yes,
lot
yes,
more. Yeah, exactly. Imagine
yes.
had he stayed fit, and chances are we could have won a lot more. Or if we had another striker that was capable of coming in and doing an equally good job, or maybe an even better job. Imagine. I don't know, Dante. You want to add anything to that before we give the microphone back to those in the chat?
Yeah, look, he's had competition. Just the competition was injured or not good enough. And Kunku, they was injured when he came in that first year. Broja was one of the ones that they were looking at. Got injured. He was injured all the time. No good. And then when they came back, they were no good. So he was a bit lucky that you know he had competition, and Kunku was supposed to be that guy, but unfortunately, he didn't work out. So he had 2 years at it. I mean, you had 2 years. You did okay. He did pretty good as a young player starting, but we're moving on. You got to keep that going. So he didn't help himself as well, getting those 2 red cards and not playing well the last few times he came on either. So it's a bit of his own doing and a bit of the club needing to get better players and more competition to take us to the next level. So, like I said, he stays, he competes. If not, he goes. Very simple. It's a win-win for Chelsea either way, and the club is bigger than any player, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, and big clubs shouldn't you could say shouldn't have just a single striker.
no, exactly. No, you need to definitely
And
to.
and the more he stays, and the value we place on him will reduce. Hope you know, Coachella. If he
I do
stays
know,
this
yeah.
season in Chelsea and didn't have that opportunity to play and didn't perform well this season, hope you know that next season no club will come for him with that will pay that much Chelsea is demanding, because the value will reduce drastically. That's
Yeah,
for sure. Because now people have seen him that okay, he's a talented player, he's a prospect, but they are not willing to pay that much, let alone when he's not playing at all. So I think that this season is the right time to sell him.
yeah.
That's just it. This season is the right time to sell him.
Yeah. All right, more likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 62 people following the show on YouTube, and we have just 17 likes. If half of you take a second to drop a like on the video, we'll have at least 31 likes. And in total, we have 148, 62 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook, where that equally Coachella doesn't know. But thank you, please, if you're following the show on YouTube or If you're following the show on X or maybe Facebook, please do take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also follow our account. Would really appreciate that. Okay, where did we stop? I think this done papa. We read that one. I would like Chelsea to send Nicolas Jackson. I think that's what you mean there. It's okay. This is a question I'm guessing. Simon Ajik says, "Is Chelsea going to buy Garnacho or not?" If Fabrizio Romano says he believes Chelsea will sign Garnacho, then you best believe it's gonna happen. For me, I think that deal is. I'd go to the again measure of saying 99% to 1, leaning towards him joining Chelsea. Yeah. But let's see, James. I would prefer Xavi than Garnacho. I think it's not a case of one or the other. I think the plan is to sign both players. And for me, I'd say, yeah, I think we'd get both deals across the line. And the Prince says, I think we can only prioritize between Xavi and Roger. I think both players are similar. Not exactly. Xavi definitely more creative than Rogers, in my opinion. I don't mind if we can get both Xavi and Bastoni. This could be a perfect transfer window. Are we interested in signing Bastoni? Rumors at this point, nothing concrete. But do I think we'll end up probably signing a defender? Strong possibility, and I'm going to explain why. Remember, even before the transfer window opened, we were told that we're definitely going to sign one more centre back. But you could argue, yeah. But centre back, I don't think we signed. We signed Hato as a centre back, but because he's capable of playing as a centre back, we may well have decided, okay, yeah, he counts. I don't know, but there's a strong possibility we still sign a centre back because we were told we'll sign a centre back specifically and then a winger. But let's see what happens. Ajahn Edikachi here says, I don't know why Spurs are not looking towards Christopher Nkunku. He's like a like for like with the Berichi Eze and he can also play James Madison's role. I disagree. He's not like for like with the Berichi Eze and he maybe can fulfill the James Madison role, but not as effective, in my opinion. And also, subscribe mindset say definitely without a Jackson, we don't get top four. Big up Jackson, but that was last season. But I still think we'd get top four this season without him. Without Jackson, we would do better. Yeah, if he stays, even better. Seriously, competition in positions can bring out the best in players, and that was why Jackson failed us last season. He didn't fail us; we failed ourselves. We took the risk of relying solely on him. We even with knowing that Nkunku isn't exactly the type of number 9 that thrives. You can say I go to the extent of saying in the Premier League, you'd have to change a lot with regards to the way you approach the game for Nkunku to thrive, and you have to also accept the fact that in terms of pressing and winning the ball in the final third, you don't rely on him. And Wiz Paparazzi Beats. Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation here. Without Jackson, Cole Palmer doesn't do what he has done since being at Chelsea. I think that's not enough sample size to say definitely Cole Palmer will struggle in the absence of Jackson. That was just one season. And yeah, Nicolas Jackson didn't play in the Club World Cup final, did he? No, he didn't. But I get where you're coming from, and pay attention. No, I don't think so. I think he will be all right. If we draw against Potter today, I think the internet will break. No, the Chelsea fans on X will lose their shit. Yeah, it says without Jackson, we for no get those goals. Okay. Any news on Xavi? Nothing new. If we see anything new, we'll talk about it. Just hold on. Stay tuned. Eden sends to get us Bastoni, and we're having a good quality CB for maybe a decade. This kind of solution, Virgil van Dijk provided Liverpool for years. And Markin Neum, nice to see you. Big up to you too. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. We also need Xavi Simmons or Rodgers. I don't know whether the plan is to sign one of the two, but it doesn't look like if we sign. I think No, it's not a case of either one of the two players. I think we definitely want to sign Xavi Siemens. Then, if we see the opportunity to sign Morgan Rogers, would do that too. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes. Understand the likes do go a long way. Next item we have lined up here. There you go. And that's according to Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru himself. This reads Fabrizio on Garnacho and Siemens to Chelsea. The plan remains confirmed for both of them to go to Chelsea. So the aim, we want to sign both players. Okay. For Garnacho, the deal is happening. So you could say, interpret that as being he's certain that Chelsea will get the Garnacho deal across the line. For Siemens, there's still some work to do, but Chelsea are confident to make it happen. From in Siemens' case, I'd say definitely from Chelsea's perspective. You see what I did there? Okay, because one Chelsea perspective, but that's by the way, Chelsea perspective because we need to move on players, so we'll be able to register Siemens for competitions if we get the deal across the line. But I'll have Dante talk about that before I go to a better. Dante, your thoughts?
Yeah, coach, exactly. Look, exactly what you said, and yes, very nicely worded there as
And
well.
credit to you, even though I don't like you, you're the one that educated me on why the deal has been delayed. But yeah, still I don't like you.
That's fine. Yes, that the feeling is likewise. So, um, yeah, look, it's a matter of time. We need to get those players out to be able to register him. Don't be surprised if there's probably paperwork already done, maybe signed, just not officially lodged. It's just we're waiting to get some deals out so we can actually buy him and register him officially. That is,
Dante,
so
give me 1 second. Dante, give me one
unofficially, it's
second.
most likely done.
Dante, 1 second. I wish we're streaming in landscape format that would have popped the fireworks and the balloons. IBZ! Big up, my bro. Always nice to see you out there. Hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. I know. I hope you've been okay. I hope definitely your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, I'm happy for you, bro. Much love
Very
and
long time,
apologies
yeah.
that I haven't reached out to see how you're doing. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, been very long, IBZ. Yeah, I hope you've
Being
been
like a
well.
thousand years up, but we're not saying he's a vampire, though, right? But go
No,
ahead.
no. I'm sure he's had his reasons, but yeah, good to see you back. It's really good to see you back. Big up.
Yeah, go ahead, Dante.
Garnacho, yeah, Garnacho is. We're looking for Garnacho basically to on our terms to sign him on our terms. It's favorable for us, of course. We want to get him on our terms. We know the situation at Manchester United, so we're working in that. He will not have any issues with registration or nothing like that, so that won't hold that one up. If
And
we
that's
do get
because
it,
he's on still on 21. Is that
he just turned 21. Yeah, he just turned
so
21.
we can still register him? He won't take up spaces in the quota.
Yeah, as long as you're still 21 and not turning 22, then it's fine. So he'll be able to be registered, not a problem. But Xavi Simons obviously not. So yeah, look, that one I think will get done if we can get the deal done on our terms, not what Manchester United want. So we'll see what happens with that one. Don't be surprised that one could be a loan with maybe an obligation to buy for next season or an option to buy, maybe, who knows, with a penalty fee, something like that. Something that makes Man United a little bit more money at least and stretches it out another year, and then they get we can buy him at the end of next year, at the end of this year, sorry, and then that just gives him an extra 4 or 5 million on top of the deal because you're paying for his loan as well. So don't be surprised there'll be something like that in the end, unless of course we can organize on a fee. We can shake on hand on a fee for probably 30-35 million, because I don't think Chelsea will pay anything more than that, and not what they want, 50 million plus, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens. That's the only reason that one's taking longer, I think, because of the negotiation of the back and forth. And the
Which is
more
not
we
normal.
Yeah, and the longer we play this, the more it's in our favor. So we're
It's,
fine to stretch it out to
if
the
you
end
don't
of the
mind that,
transfer.
it just seems when it comes to Chelsea fans, every transfer seems to take longer than usual, especially if you can say you can say rival clubs are getting deals done.
Yeah.
Even when they I don't know how it's to phrase it, but we don't know how to be patient, or maybe for lack of the understanding that it's a process that involves the selling club saying they want a player, they want to sell a player for a certain a price, and then Chelsea coming to the table with a certain amount saying this is how much we're willing to pay for a particular player. We don't. It's not our business. We don't want to know. We just want the club to get it done, pay the money, and get the deal across the line.
Yeah, a bit like on FIFA. You press X and you've made the transfer. Doesn't matter how much it costs and how much salary you paid, no problem. Just press X and it happens in 1 minute. That's not real life, unfortunately. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted. And we're not easy pushovers anymore either. Like, we're selling players properly now with proper money. We're buying players, but we like to buy players on our terms as well. That's favorable for us as well. So we're going to negotiate more and we're just not going to cave in. So the new business model is working and is in effect. Yes, we're not going to sign a player overnight sometimes, but at the end of the day, we've got most of our deals done and in our favor. So that's the business side of it, where we're very good at, of course, this new ownership. So you got to have a bit more patience with that because that's business. It doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, look, we're set up very well for the future and for selling and for buying. We're trying to take a new stance and we're trying to gain a bit more respect where we probably didn't quite have it before because we pretty much paid what people wanted, did what they wanted, and Abramovich just wanted to just get it done. He didn't care. Well, it's a very different model at the moment. So
Just
yes,
pay,
it
don't
takes
speak.
yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but we're trying to earn that respect from clubs that we kind of lost. We were a bit easy to deal with and pushovers and pay whatever we want
You
most
could
of the
argue
time.
that we pretty much fixed that issue. That when clubs
Fixed.
see us, they see the money. The money man is here.
Yeah, we fixed that now, but also now it's the other side of the sword. Jealousy, and they want to get one over us because we're the best at it. So you have to deal with that now. So it's got to be a fine balance in between.
Yeah. Yeah, and before I go to a burial, let's give the microphone for a few seconds, a minute to those in the chat. And we have Astro, APX3X. Thank you for joining. Yo, to you too. Wagwan, what's going on? We need Bastoni. Do I think we need him? I'd say yes. Are we going to get him? I don't know. We need a CB and a Bastoni, is it? Okay, that's an opinion. Whether I would do that, I don't know. Unsubscribed minds say all we need now is the winning, and more importantly, yeah, get the first win of the season. Yeah, you're begging me to respond to yes. You have to be patient. It's turn by turn. You're welcome, Astro, but thank you for joining. I appreciate you for joining the conversation here. Your opinion matters. Keep dropping the likes and stream the likes to go a long way. 22 likes. We can do a lot better than 22 likes. We still have 67 people following the show. And if half of you like the video, we'll have at least 33 plus. But that's by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. So Dante, let me ask you this quickly before I go to Victor. On a percentage scale, the possibility of the Siemens to Chelsea deal getting done. Fabrizio says 85, but you've been sounding as if you're certain will eventually get the deal across the line.
Yeah, I probably say 95% to be honest. Yep. And
10 plus.
I'm not just saying
That's
that. I'm
plus
going.
10. Fabrizio is saying
Yeah,
85, you're saying plus 10.
I'm saying a bit more because I'm also quoting and looking at the local journalists that deal with inside the club and have connections inside the club at Leipzig. All those local German ones, they all say the same thing. So, and they've got people, they've pretty much got everything right about that club. So I'm just looking at them more than Fabrizio as well. Fabrizio is obviously the main one, but he's hearing things as well. But those people that have connections in the club and have worked at that club, and yes, they're all saying that that deal is exactly the same. What I've been saying, it's done. Everything's done. We're just waiting for our exits so we can sign him officially and it gets registered properly. So there's no hold up. So I'm going by them as well, and a bit of my gut instinct as well. But I'm going by that as well. That, like I said, they're always spot on when it comes to those clubs because they worked at those clubs and have people inside those clubs. So they're pretty spot on when it comes to those ones.
Some outlets, even some, I think one German. Is it? Do I remember a French outlet? Some are actually saying that the deal is already done.
Yes, and that's all the German ones, the local ones, have said it's already done. All of them. It's been done for a while. It's just handshake. We got an agreement. Might be even some stuff signed, but not officially lodged because we have an agreement and we're waiting. So I'm just trusting those sources, like I said, because they're very accurate with any news that comes out of there. They know everything basically. They're like the Ornstein Fabrizio of Germany. So yeah, they never get those wrong. I haven't seen one ever that they've gotten wrong.
Yeah, Victor, your thoughts. Xavi Simons to Chelsea. Do you think we get the deal across the line, or you're one of those that are concerned that that probably will end up not signing him?
Nah, his connection's no good, coach. I think
Probably a delay in communication, but I'm gonna move on. If he comes in, then yeah,
your
like
system's too strong for his. I think he's probably on the phone, and it's not good enough.
possibly, yeah.
Reception.
Yeah, Leipzig play Bayern tonight. Xavi Simons, if we're going by this manager's comment, I think he's
He
definitely
plays.
gonna play too.
Yeah,
But
it's apparently his last game. Yeah,
yeah, they're saying right, what could be if we're going by how what I read again phrased something to the effect of he's going to play what could be his last game for Leipzig, and it looks like that may well be the case. But here's the thing: something people I know, a lot of people do know, some don't. Even if he's on the verge of leaving Leipzig, as long as he's been behaving, he's been, you can say, professional. I don't think the manager will come out and say, yeah, he's definitely leaving us. You only hear managers you speak of a player leaving in most cases only if the player is misbehaving and it's
correct.
obvious to the public that he's definitely leaving. Then you hear a manager speaking that light. But in this case, the manager didn't speak ill of the player. Just said, yeah, we'll keep him, but you know what's going on. But if it makes economical sense for us, then he'd leave. So which means he's been behaving is again properly. He's not throwing
Yeah.
tensions and all that. Dante, I don't know you want to add anything to that before
Look,
we
he's
move on.
behaving properly, I think, but he has made some pretty strong
By removing
suggestions.
Leipzig from his profile, right?
There's been a few strong suggestions. What he wants, but I think they all know him involved, and they have an agreement. We still play till it happens. You help us till it happens, and I think they're all on the same page because otherwise he would not be playing. So they're on the same page, and it is a little bit risky him playing because if he gets injured, obviously. But that just tells me they don't mind Leipzig. If that happens, they're also happy to keep him, and that tells me Simmons is probably happy to stay if that happens. Either he's taking that risk as well,
Yeah,
which is interesting. Normally that doesn't happen, which is very interesting. Normally that wouldn't happen, but
yeah.
sometimes if the relationship is really, really strong and good, and there's a lot of mutual respect, that happens. So that's the only reason
I
I say
think
that.
I'm with you. I think we will eventually get the deal across the line. My confidence, you can say my confidence in that happening, for me, is the fact that Nkunku he's driven to play. He still has that hunger to play. He's not like on the verge of retirement where you say it's all about the money for him. He probably wants to get the chance to represent France in the next World Cup. So he needs to be playing, and he knows if he stays at Chelsea, he's not going to play. He's not going to play enough to be considered. So I think he ends up leaving. The question now is whether he ends up leaving on a permanent or maybe on loan. But it's a good thing that he wants to leave on a permanent too, which I could argue to some extent would lead to him being open to accepting a salary reduction.
Yeah, not sure about the salary, but we'll see.
We'll see, indeed. But again, he does come across as if he has that hunger to play. And Leipzig, they're pushing, and I thought they wanted him on a permanent. It turns out they want him on loan. And you just said keep the spirit up, Chelsea Blue Army. Keep the spirit up, Chelsea Blue Army. Thank you for saying that. Tommy Bryan is here. Big up to you too, Tommy. We appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. Let's hear you, Victor. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, Tommy.
Xavi Simons to Chelsea. Yeah. Crystal clear, crystal clear. Maybe the woman where they sell Mama put don't give you better connection.
The other clubs will come, you say you want only Chelsea. That means there is this assurance that have been given to you. So that's it. I've
Yep,
already
to
seen
an
him as
extent.
a
Yep,
Chelsea player.
yep.
Yes,
That's
yes, and
actually
Garnacho
that's
too.
an
I've already,
excellent observation from you.
yeah,
I don't think he'd be rejecting clubs
that's
left, right, and front and center.
exact.
If
Yeah,
yeah, if we hadn't
yeah,
promised him that, yeah, we want him and we will definitely get the deal across the line. Go ahead, because it's a huge
yeah.
risk.
Yeah, it's a very big risk. And another thing is, many people are saying we want Rogers, we want Bastoni, and yes, we want all those players. But there is this news I saw yesterday, and they say that Chelsea is we have only less than 2 weeks to balance our book so that we can register our players, all these new players we bought, that we have only less than 2 weeks to balance our book in order to register those players. So, and I think that we need to offload some players before we can be able to get new ones in. And before we can say, okay, we have balanced our book. Because if we've not, offloaded all these players, I don't think that many, as in some players will not be registered. That's another thing.
Yeah,
And that's the thing that is keeping all these Xavi Simon and Garnacho coming into Chelsea. It seems because we've not balanced that our book, and we've not seen some of our players move out of Chelsea because Nkuku, Jackson, so many of them. We need to offload them before we can see new players coming to Chelsea. And that's the reason why I think Xavi and Garnacho, they still hanging. Yeah.
the Garnacho's case, I think it's just an agreement, in my opinion, because he's on yeah, not. I think Dante educated doesn't on the fact that he's still under 21, so registering him
Okay, because of
will not be
his
an
age,
issue.
his age, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
yes,
but
yeah.
yeah, Dante is gonna feel like he's the most important person on this panel right now. But that's, by the way, we have AP here saying, Kochi, are you not scared? We might be losing too much of physicality. Sancho, Mudri Kanani, maybe Jackson and Nkunku. What do you think? I'm not. We still have again. You need to balance it out. If you focus, this is not rugby. It's not. Uh, and if Bobby was here, he'd buy you a beer. If he was on the panel right now, he'd buy you a beer. But he's not here. That's his kind of, you can say, the comment he cherished so much that he'd ask for your address to ship you can say a six pack of yeah, beer for you to your place. No, I'm not. I'm not. Nani wasn't that physical. Jackson, the most physical of the players you just mentioned there. I wouldn't say Sancho. No, not that. I think we're fine. Really. I think there's for me too much emphasis on physicality. Uh, what are we? Are we trying to build a team for Tony Pulis? I understand the importance of having a good balance, and I'd say right now I think we have a good balance in my opinion. But Dante, let's hear you.
Yeah, and you know, um, look, it helps a little bit in the Premier League, but not. It's way overlooked at and thinked about. If you want to play a certain way, yes, but we're not that type of club to play that way. So we don't need. Obviously you need a couple, maybe your defenders, your central defenders, a couple of them maybe to be like that. Maybe a defensive midfielder, but not necessarily because I mean you look at Caicedo. He's not big. He's not that strong. He's not tall. He's not.
Which
But
brings us to the fact that size doesn't define physicality.
exactly. So Caicedo is a very physical player, but he doesn't have that size, but he can handle that size against anyone
Esugo
who has
doesn't have
problems.
that size that much either.
Yeah. So look, a little bit overrated. If you play a certain style and like maybe Nottingham Forest like to do that quite a bit. Uh Arsenal have gone that sort of route, but look what's happened to Arsenal. They draw 100 games. So at the end of the season, because of that, yeah, you get a lot of results. You don't lose much, but you draw a lot of games. But that doesn't help you too much to win things at the end of the season. So, yeah, look, it's a bit overrated. Definitely in modern football, I think it's definitely overrated. I still agree
And
that you need
I'd
a
say we
little
have a
bit of
good
it.
balance.
You need a balance. You need a little bit of it, especially in the Premier League more than any other leagues, but not to the extent of having every position like your like left wing, right wing. Like you said, Sancho. Sancho was not a physical player.
It
Mudrik's not
wasn't.
really a physical player. They're
He
not
cannot
physical
actually be
players.
physical enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, Gittins can be physical. Exactly, is the same build as those that were mentioned. Basically, Jackson, he's not really a physical player, to be honest. Out of those
But can
mentioned,
be
he is.
physical.
But for a striker, he's not a physical striker.
No,
He's
he's
not.
not.
No, he's Delap's much more physical than him, and you probably can say even Joao Pedro is more physical than him. The way he plays and what he does. So yeah, look, it doesn't really matter up front. I'm not too worried about it. Your defenders need, yes, not left back, right back, no, but your central defenders, you need a bit of that, yes, definitely. Um, like I said, maybe a defensive midfielder that has that, but we kind of have a destroyer there anyway. He just doesn't have the height, but he does everything those other players would do anyway.
Yeah, and Houston, in terms of, I think the way we use experience and age interchangeably, I think we do the same. With physique and, you can say physique and physicality, we use that interchangeably too.
Very much so. And a
Yeah.
possession-based
So
game, the way we want technical players, you're just not going to have those type of players. Too many physical big players, tall, strong, physical, that has those attributes and be also technically gifted and be able to hold possession the way we play. That's not going to balance up. It's not going to work. So, not the way we play, not our style. No. So you always need more technical, smaller players that will you do what the manager needs him to do and play our style of football.
yeah, we do have about 30 minutes more so to round off. I gotta go help my boys get ready. But I don't think anything new. Uh, I don't think, but we're still going news hunting if we're able to get it done on time. To get done addressing the items we have on time here. Yeah, I'm not at all. I think we have good balance. Unsubscribed man says of late, lots of clubs have been rejecting Bayern. I think what they do, they don't care how they get your player. They just find a way, tap the player up and sign. They don't really care. Just the same thing they do in the German league. They sign the best players probably from their rivals too. But yeah, thank you. Big up, Jay. Nice to see you out there. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. Uncle Vinny is here. Um, Uncle Vinny says, I'm just tired with this Siemens and Garnacho saga. Updates after every 30 minutes from different journalists, but the same thing, yeah, presented from a different perspective. Yeah, that's just the truth. Kevin Marila, greetings from Kenya. Kevin, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Kenyan bro, thank you for joining the conversation. I just want this transfer window to end so we can focus on the performance of the team. Yeah. I think how many weeks now from now? Not far away. Barcelona is an example of modern football. There's no physicality, but fluidity matters. There's physicality, but good balance. You
And
cannot do,
PSG.
irrespective of where you play, you need some measure of physicality.
And
But they
PSG
have good
coach the
balance.
same.
Sorry?
PSG just won basically everything Champions League besides beating us, but PSG is the same. They're not a physical team.
You say not overly physical, but they have physicality to a good measure.
Yeah, but they don't have physical players at every position, big,
No, it's
strong
not
guys.
like it's not
They
crazy
have
for
no
me.
height, basically. They have no height hardly at all, to be honest. So they got small technical players all over the pitch. No physical, not much physicality as in height and like that. So yeah, especially their central midfielders. They're smaller than Caicedo. They're very small, but they're very technical, very quick, fast, and can be physical if needed to. But you saw what we did with them in the Club World Cup. We had those players to combat that.
Yeah. But that's by the way, Vic also Vic's mama put Wi-Fi connection. Disappoints again. But let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. Chelsea are on track to sell Carney Chukwuemeka and loan Aaron as what's those two comedians? Aaron. Chelsea are on track to sell Carney Chukwuemeka and loan Aaron Anselmino to Borussia Dortmund. BVB will pay 20 million euros for Chukwuemeka and take the Argentine on simple loan. Chelsea doesn't want to sell him. I think they believe in him, and according to Maresca, he needs to play, and that's very important. Victor, where do you want to come in? We have just about 10 minutes more to round off. All
Yeah.
right. Yes. No, nothing too serious. We talked about what did Uncle Vinny do? Uncle Vinny, apologies. The AI that's policing the chat deleted your message and timed you out for 5 seconds. What did you do? I'm not sure. Okay, you had a comment. You have a comment that had four emojis. So just let it stop at three emojis. Don't use more than three emojis. And again, not a human being. Uh, Nightbot is the AI that polices the chat. Once you use more than three emojis, it will delete your message and probably time you out. So sorry about that. So we're talking about Carney Chukwuemeka. We finished talking about Xavi Mr. Chelsea. I think you did speak about him. So Carney Chukwuemeka to Dortmund looks like it's going to happen, and they will also get Aaron and Salmino on loan. All right, I'm just going to go on. Don't worry, Victor. We'll sort out your connection stuff later. And Uncle Vinny says here, new negotiations today. Borussia Dortmund are pushing it to close both deals. That will go a long way for us. And Stav is here with some um, important information to educators. He says 251 million income expenditure is amortized. The UEFA agreement isn't the issue people think. It's been 6 or 7 weeks since the restrictions were agreed. All right, thank you so much for that, Stava. I appreciate you. Let's see, what else do we have here, Victor? I don't think we have anything new here to talk about. So just relax. And this year, when asked on Thursday who Chiso is signing for under Blue Coat, one Brighton source said that even they weren't sure. That's not of any concern to me. Yeah, because that's not an area of priority for Chelsea, in my opinion. Dante, you want to add anything to that?
No, coach, no. That's not a yeah, no problem. Nothing to add to that one. Oh, well,
All
just
right,
with
we
the
have about
Carney, I'll
seven
add,
minutes to round
sorry,
up. If
just
you
the
have any
Carney
questions,
one.
ask. Go ahead, Dante.
I'll quickly add to the Carney one. Yeah, so they're getting sold. It's not the price we wanted. It's quite a low price for Carney. We have him rated a much higher, but there will be again a massive, significant sell-on clause added to that deal as well. So
Which also
uh,
still makes it a good deal. It just we're not going to get that immediately.
because Borussia Dortmund will play him, use him for 2 or 3 years, and then they will sell him for a profit. So there will be, I think, they'll probably try to add another 40% sell-on clause. So that will make the deal very good for the future, even though it's a low fee now. But they're probably going to pay us a little bit more for Anselmino on the loan as well. So that will help. That will help as well.
And Victor Chikarango says, give us Chukwuemeka. What club do you support? I'm guessing Borussia Dortmund. Is that it? So this year, Dastan Saptav is a special. Is special. Chelsea's Joe Shield is the man behind that one, and he usually never disappoints. This kid is such a talent, and during an interview, he said that when asked if Chelsea is the best option for him, something to that effect, he responded by saying he's not sure whether that's the case or not. But one thing is certain: Chelsea doesn't know how to work with young players. Even if you end up going out on loan, they ensure you go out on loan to a club where you continue developing. I think he understands that coming to Chelsea presents him to the world for lack of a more relatable term. Yeah, but I think he's that's an intelligent response, knowing that at Chelsea, irrespective of what happens, the world will see you. But let's hear you, Dante, on that one before we move on. About 6 minutes to round off.
Yeah.
Wish we had more time here. But yeah, we'd still do a pregame show later in the day. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah. He's a massive talent. He did try out with Chelsea at the club. There's videos of that. and I'm actually with the scout. The scout, his actual scout, I'm following him on X, and I've talked to him a couple of times about him, and he said, yeah, there's big plans for him. So he's a massive talent. A lot of clubs wanted him. He eventually settled on Chelsea. He gave you a bit of an insight in that interview to say why he did that. It's a smart move. He's become like a celebrity now at a young age because of that in his country. Yeah, look, he's got a very bright future. He's got a very good head on his shoulders as well. Strong, very strongly built. Still growing because he's
I
a little
mean,
bit
that particular response is reflects that fact.
exactly. So it's a very smart for his career decision as well, because if it works out, it works out. But he's gotten the platform anyway now, and if he needs to use Chelsea with that it's fair enough. But we'll also obviously have a extremely high talent there, ready to sign on our books when the age comes around that we can sign him. So yeah, he's very exciting. He's done very well in the first team. They just played, unfortunately, he played Celtic in the qualifying phase for the I think the UEFA Cup or conference. I
He
can't
will
remember which
miss
one.
the second leg.
He'll miss because he got a yellow card,
Mhm.
unfortunately, right at the end, and he will miss the second leg. But since he started in the first team football, he's been tearing it up in his country. So as a senior at 16, playing in the senior league. So but he also showed in Europe that he can do it in friendlies and some of these competition, that he can really step it up at a young age. Yeah, he's like I said, really, really one for the future, but it's still a long way to go with him. But yeah, he's made a name for himself because of Chelsea, and Chelsea will hopefully get that back if he becomes the player, he's promised to become. So it's a good relationship all around.
Yeah, thank you so much. This here reads respect to you too, Odeku Olushola. Nice to see you, Akara, my brother. And okay, Vic joins us there, and Dastan, I can't wait to see him. Anything new here? We go news hunting, and we're round off. We have just about 3 minutes to round off. I don't think anything new emerged, but we'll search anyway in case it did. And
Let me just
during the
address, sorry,
pregame,
coach. The
sorry.
Bastoni people in the Bastoni keep saying Bastoni. Let's sign Bastoni.
Mhm.
Just want to touch on that one. Bastoni plays in the back three for Inter Milan as a left centre back. He's a left centre back. He's not a CCB, so he cannot. He's never played. Doesn't play that central back
Roll.
role in the middle for one specific reasons. He's not. That's not his game. That's not how he likes to play. He's not a. He can't do that. Those type of passes like that. He's never played there. So people keep saying we signed Bastoni. I love Bastoni. I love Bastoni. Long time I wanted
Mhm.
Bastoni. But Bastoni will not come in to be a CCB. That's not his role. So the only reason you're buying Bastoni is then if you get rid of Colwell, basically, or to compete with Colwell, to start over Colwell. And if you're signing Bastoni at probably 80 million, you're not signing him to compete. He'll be a starting left centre back. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen because of that reason, unless we're fine to upgrade over Lovar Colwell, like I said, and he plays that left centre back role. But otherwise, I do not see that happening. He's not a CCB at all. That's not his game. It's never been. So uh, I know people love Bastani just like I do, but not for that position. He cannot do that position.
Yeah, well, so the lesson is when you're talking about players you want the club to sign, it's important to also save things from a tactical perspective. That does go a long way. So with that, I want to say thank you to Vic for joining us on the panel here. Odeku Lushala, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, gradually we will start looking at those that have indicated that they're interested in becoming panelists on just a perspective here. I think it's important. Also, part of the process will be a few days. Non-live broadcast and training. But as by the way, it's so exclusive maybe. Olushola, thank you. Victor Chikarango, thank you for joining. And staff, thank you for joining the conversation. Uncle Vinny, thank you so much. And apologies that the AI deleted your messages and timed you out, but I was able to undelete the messages. Kevin Morilla, thank you for joining. Uncle Vinny once again. Jay, thank you for joining. Unsubscribed Mind. Makin Newm was here. Tommy Bryan, AB was here. Youths, and all of you, and Astro. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name.